Okay, so today I'm going to show you a couple of features that you can do with your calculator. You probably would have wished I told you this a few days ago, but I wanted you to be able to do the math. But now I'll be able to teach you the calculator, speed this up. This was one of our homework problems. A fish tank filled with 12 gallons of water is drained. The water drains at a rate of 1.5 gallons per minute. And you had to fill in the chart here. Well, if we can come up with the expression, we can use our calculator. I believe when we did this, we had come up with the f of t, because t was the independent variable, equals, and the slope was 1.5, but it's draining, so it was negative 1.5 t, and then we started at 12 gallons of water, so we had to put 12 as our y-intercept because that's our starting point. Okay, so we can actually take that and put that in our calculator. So we're going to turn our calculator on. It's going to close that. And go to our y equals. So we're going to put in our equation. We had negative 1.5. Because remember, f of x is the same thing as y equals. And then we have t, but our calculator doesn't do t, it does x as the variable. So we're going to replace x with t, or t with x, excuse me. And then we have plus 12. So then, if you notice above the graph, there's the word table in blue. So we have second table, and it gives us a table. And so we want our table to start, we want to know what 0 is. So in this case, we can just up arrow. But if it's some crazy numbers, we can go to our table set, which is in blue. And then we can tell it where we want to start. Let's say we want it to start at 3. So we can put in 3 here. And then when I go to my table, it'll start at the x is 3. Okay? But we want to know 0. So at 0, there are 12 gallons of water, and that makes sense. No time has passed, and we have these 12, so that goes in here. After 1 minute has passed, there's 10.5 gallons of water. 3 minutes has passed, there's 7.5. And then we want to know, when is there 4.5 gallons of water? That would be at the 5-minute mark. And when is there 1.5? We can go down. And when there's 1.5 gallons of water, that was 7 minutes. So we can just go ahead and fill in that table. Another feature that we can use the calculator on, what is that? Oops, excuse me, is the graphing. We did down here where we just drew over and down and found that intersection of the graph. So we can do the same thing here. We can bring up our calculator. Let's bring that over here. And we're going to put in what they have. Remember, this is the same thing as y equals 4x minus 7 and y equals 8. Okay? Remember, it's the function of x, which is the same thing as y equals. So that's a y equals, and this is also a y equals. F of anything could be a y equals. Okay? So we're going to go back over to our calculator here, and we can do second quit. And go to y equals. We'll clear that out. We'll put in both our functions. We have 4x minus 7. Oops. And then go down to y2, and this is y equals 8. So we'll just put an 8 here. And we're going to hit graph. Now you'll notice I have thick, funny lines here. So that means that my window is not set. See, we normally want negative 10, 10. That's crazy. So if you remember, you go to zoom. If you go down to zoom standard, it will reset my windows into the standard windows. So here's my 2 lines, and I want to know where they intersect because I'm trying to find the x value when y equals 8. So under the calc menu, you do second trace, which has calc in blue. Number 5 says intersect. So if we just hit the number 5 and hit enter, the cursor always pops up at the y-intercept. So to get it go to the right, we're going to hit the right arrow, and we want to put it where we think the intersection is at. So I bring it right here, and I think the intersection's right about there. So it says first curve. Well, we're going to hit enter because we don't want the first curve. It says second curve. We don't need that either. We want it to guess about where that is. So it says when y equals 8, which is what we put it right here, x is 3.75. Remember, this one we sort of estimated because it wasn't exact. But, oh, here it is right here. We drew a line here and we came down, it was before the 4. But the calculator will actually tell you the exact amount. So those are a couple of different features we're going to use over the next couple of days for the functions. We can also put in any equation and find its intersection, and we can actually, I'll show you later how we can use some of the other equations to find the y values. That's it. I hope you paid close attention. We'll see you tomorrow.